out a message, which Lucia, you received that message from me probably last night or the day before, and I was just going off the top of my head. Who can I think of immediately that is taking steps to, you know, kind of find their own way and bring something new to the area, a trailblazer? Doesn't necessarily have to be a business owner per se, but somebody who's really just kind of extraordinary in their own way. And so you were one of the people that replied, said, yeah, I'll talk to you. Let's go.
Oh, thank you.
And, you know, so you're here. There was a sense of urgency. I didn't want to put it off. Episode 2, going right into it. Basically, my history with you, what I know about you is that a few years back, I was starting my juice company and kind of starting to find my way as a self-employed entrepreneur. And somehow we stumbled across each other through the internet. And back then you were operating, it was an app that would connect people to local food. And One Way to Fun.
Well, back in 2016-ish, it was Wilkes-Barre Scranton Night Out. And that, but Wilkes-Barre Scranton Night Out did have an app for people to download on their phones to find everything. But now, since times have changed, I have changed the name of the company to One Way to Fun, where they can just go right on their internet, right on their phone. There's no app, there's no nothing. It's all fully interactive, right from the palm of their hand. They don't have to go looking for a newspaper. Don't listen to the radio. Don't have to go digging on Facebook. Everything is right there in front of them.
And how would I access that right now?
You can just go right into your browser. If you're an Apple user, you would go on to, I think it's called Safari, because that's the internet browser that's on Apple. Or if you're on Android, it's Chrome or whatever browser of your choice. And you just type in oneway2fun.com and it comes right up.
Okay. And when we're done chatting here, you know, feel free, leave that in the comments so people, you know, have an easier time finding it.
Sure.
Okay, so One Way to Fun, connecting people to local food. Good, because there's kind of like a dark cloud that comes along with these corporate chains.
Yes.
And I can't say all of them. There's certain chains that seem to take efforts, vaguely throwing out, let's say Chipotle.
Right.
Very little what I know about them, but they seem like, and Starbucks perhaps even, some of these big companies, they want to, it's hard to steer a big ship like that and really make radical changes. But so some companies, they make an effort, but the majority, they don't really have our best interest in mind. The money is going off somewhere else, and there's some, you know, board of directors that's sitting on an island right now drinking cocktails, laughing at all of us, and we are to blame for that. You know, we're giving them our money, and so, you know, they like it. We like it because we get their services, but typically when you shop at a mom and pop restaurant or a business of any kind, you're most likely going to receive a higher quality product or service. Absolutely. And the money is going right back into the community. It's kind of just like a win for everyone.
Absolutely. So
thankfully now with the internet, it's a little easier to navigate and find these services. And so that's part of like this, we'll call it a show that we're doing right now, right? Connecting the creators.
That's right.
I had some kind of inspiration a few nights ago, and I just like, you know, one of those moments where you just wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, oh my God, I need to start chatting with people. I don't really necessarily know why, but I just feel compelled to do it. And I got right to it. I said, look, I'm going to start sending out messages, find people that are interested, and people. I have a whole list of people now that want to sign up, and this is cool because, yeah, now we can start. You know, people in my circle that may not know who you are or what you're offering, now you're getting, you know, seen by more people, and it's nothing but a good thing.
Absolutely.
Behind you, very eye-catching background.
Yes.
Autobahn Title and Tag. Now, why don't you tell me a little bit more about that?
So Autobahn Title and Tag was formed in June of 2018, and there's actually a cute story behind this. After a robust trip to Germany in 2017 in December, every Christmas, my boyfriend, Glendy Murphy, CPA, and I, we go on vacation, which right now we're in furlough, so we're not doing any traveling just yet. And we were coming off of the Autobahn, and he got 2 tickets because he was not obeying the speed limit. He was only 1 mile over. They took his picture. It was 2 big flashes of light because we were just coming back from a Doro concert where we were backstage hanging out with the whole band. And they turned it into the insurance company. When we came back, he said, "You're going to open up a title and tag shop." He goes, "And you're going to call it Autobahn Title and Tag." I said, "Sold."
So hold on here. You were driving on the Autobahn, which what I briefly know is there's not really a speed limit?
On the Autobahn, that's correct. But coming off, the minute you come off the Autobahn, you have to obey the speed limit. Otherwise, they get you.
They're waiting for you. You're in high speed. You're cruising. Life is good.
And they go really fast. They go really fast. Like, you have to either keep up or get out of their way. You'll just get mauled. You'll get mauled.
Yeah. I remember I didn't grow up here. And,
oh, no?
No. So it was one of my first times coming to the area. I had just recently got my license. I was driving a Cadillac, super fast car, right? And I was coming down the expressway from Carbondale to Dixon City. What is that? That Route 6, the Casey Highway they made?
Yeah.
And I was like cruising, man. It definitely reminded me of like maybe what the Autobahn would be like. A lot of fun. So here you are. You got Autobahn Title and Tag. Where are you located?
We are located at 711 Davis Street in Scranton. We're right behind Wendy's, 2 doors over from the Dunmore Candy Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also in the same lot as Glendy Murphy CPA. We've got some architects next door. We have some Fastenal next door. So it's a nice little private plaza. We even have a little automotive shop out the back. One of our friends, Scranton Auto Service, runs it. So we're a very nice knit family over here.
Well, you also got the main source, which I never sourced ingredients there. Like sometimes in an emergency pinch, they'd have a few things that were good for me, but they had a lot of restaurant supply. I would get my containers there that were very high quality, containers that could be reused, and they have a huge variety of kitchen equipment. A pretty cool store if you're not familiar with Main Source.
Yeah, very big, very rotten shame that they shut down. I was broken when they did.
Is it not open?
No, it's not here anymore. They're gone.
Stop.
Yeah, they've been gone a long time.
Oh, I didn't know that. So yeah, there you go. Already somebody learned something from the podcast. Success. We can end the talk here. Thanks for joining me today.
You're funny.
Okay, so Autobahn, you offer the standard services.
We do. We do the title and tags. If you're registering a brand new plate, transferring an existing plate. We also do ATVs. We do boats. We do bikes. We do trailers. We help you get your passport. I know the passports have to be all done up at the post office, but we can help you fill out the form. And then if you need to get your picture taken, we tell you where to go to get your picture taken. So we try to give all the different types of services that not your traditional title and tag shops can offer. We have people who'll do insurance for us, where we refer them out to our insurance agents. If it's for car, if it's for life, we use Biondi Franklin Insurance up in Clark Summit. Or if it's more on a health line, we have what's called the Tattooed Insurance Dude out of Pittsburgh. He is insane, but he's so good.
I need to get him on the show, it sounds like.
He's really good.
Are you familiar with Pastafarianism?
What is it?
Pasta? Like you would eat pasta?
Yeah.
Pastafarianism.
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Okay. It's a legal binding religion where they, I don't want to use the word worship, but their god or deity is a flying spaghetti monster.
Really?
And yeah, so the founder of this religion wears a colander on his head, like you would strain spaghetti with.
Okay.
And he gets his legal photos for his passport and his state ID taken with the colander on his head. And so it doesn't, if I came into Autobahn right now with a colander on my head and said, okay, let's, sign me up for a passport. I mean, how does that even work? Like, are you mandated to tell me, no, you can't have that on your head?
Probably, no, you can't, but I don't know how he's getting away with it. That's just crazy.
Yeah, and not just him, but a lot of his followers, same thing. They got their legal photos with the colander on.
Oh my gosh.
I figured you might know.
Autobahn hat.
Well, maybe you could be like the area's leader in Pastafarianism photos.
There you go. My family is Italian. You know, my mom and dad were born and raised in Italy, and they came over here in '66 with nothing more on their back. They ran a pizza shop called Lucia's, which I don't know if you can see it or not. That's from their pizza shop.
I've seen that somewhere. I could feel like I've seen that logo somewhere.
Yeah, that was on my mom and dad's pizza shop at 217 Lackawanna Avenue years ago.
Huh.
And they ran a pizza shop for many years. The Buona Pizza, they're my cousins. So pizza's been in our lives all of our life.
It's good. We were warming up before we went live, and I told you saying your name was going to be the hardest part of the broadcast. Lucia.
It's very unique. I yell at my mother every day. I'm like, why, Mom? Why?
So, Autobahn, and now let's discuss a little bit more about the One Way to Fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, those of you who are joining now, hi Lindsay, hi Maria. We own, my boyfriend and I, Glenn D. Murphy CPA. We run onewaytofun.com. It's your go-to online resource of where to go, what to do, and what to eat in the area. We post specials, events, menus, entertainment. This way people have a source to go to. They don't have to go fumbling for newspaper and whatnot. What we're doing now is, we just put it up on our page earlier today, we're doing the Northeast PA Great American Takeout Bingo Game, where we're encouraging our followers and all these businesses that we pick. Some of them are our customers. The other ones were the ones that the mayor of Scranton actually said that were open. We put them on a bingo card, and the first person to get bingo, and we can validate their bingo, is going to win a Philiopoly board game that was given to us.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Super cool. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your history? So, I mean, you're running your own business now. Have you always been self-starting, or have you worked for people? I mean, what's your background?
Prior to 2016, 2017, I've always worked for somebody else. And in 2016, 2017, I got to the point where I was sick and tired of working for someone else, because the company that I was working for at the time said, well, we're going to displace your job to the Philippines. I said, fine, go ahead. So, of course, you know, when you get, and it wasn't really getting let go from a job. I walked away from it because they had told me that my job was being displaced. So they said, you either had to move to Tennessee and be here with us, or your job was just being eliminated. And I wasn't going anywhere. I'm Pennsylvania all the way, 45 years of my life. I lived in Scranton, Dixon City, and Dunmore. And in 2016, my boyfriend started getting requests for notary work. So I started off as a very basic notary, you know, just doing $5 jobs and trying to get by. And thankfully, I was very busy enough that it escalated, that it helped me get to the next level, which is what's called a mobile notary, where mobile notaries, which I have to give a shout out to Joanne Drazino, who's the one that literally stuck her foot in my back end to do it. We can go out, we can do loans, we can do mortgages, we can do home equity loans. Basically, you're sitting down in front of the client, which right now it's another area that's been impacted by COVID, where you're sitting down across the table and you're asking them to sign documents and whatnot, and you're notarizing their signatures for these signing companies, which some of them pay very good, some of them don't. Some of them make you wait 90 to 180 days, and some of them just belly up and never pay you at all. So it's a very risky endeavor to be in, especially if you don't have enough money coming in. But again, that was another good resource that I did for a very long time, until once again Glenn was getting requests to do title and tag, and then I sat back in his office, because that's where I first started for 2 years. It was a little filing area of his office, which Lindsay Brace can tell you how small it was, and I worked out of there for 2 years. And when I first started, I failed the test. I cried my eyes out. I didn't know what I was going to do. My plan B wasn't ready, and his son, Glenn David Jr., said, you could do it. And he did the same thing Joanne Rosino did, and literally put his foot in my back end and said, go and do it. So I sat down, I put on headphones, and this is no lie. I put headphones on, and I literally had to take the soundtrack from Spinal Tap, where they turn it up to 11, and I just listened to the whole soundtrack the entire time I took the test, and I was done. I aced it, and I was thrilled.
Wow. So you just gave everybody the secret. Spinal Tap.
Yeah, Spinal Tap. Turn it up to 11.
Super cool.
I'm a local, you know, a local metalhead, local indie band. I even have another hidden secret, which when I told you when you were signing me up, I do many talents. I used to do radio. I do podcasting now for Steel Waves Radio out of Allentown. I feature local bands around the world. In fact, yesterday I was testing out the system like you, but on a different platform with Skype. And I came across this guy named Maku from 6 Seconds to Mars. It's a Motley Crue tribute act. And it was good, but it was funny. I saved the audio. My video didn't work, so I told him we were going to redo it again because I said I'm going to test different platforms and see what's out there, see which one works the best. And it was funny. This guy is like literally the local man of Howard Stern. He's absolutely hysterical. So you could say that was probably the most explicit interview I've ever done.
Oh, Lindsay's telling me that you're a karaoke queen.
Shush, Lindsay! Don't be telling me. Yeah, I do it for fun. I play piano. I've played piano for 40 years. I took a 30-year hiatus from it and started up after cruising the Yangtze River in China. And I started up again, and I've been, you know, I play every night. Me and Glenn, we're very comical when we're together, but when we're like stressed out, forget it. It's like, I'll just wait until we're in a good mood. Wait until this blows over.
So do you go? Do you recommend any local places for karaoke?
I recommend Levels Bar and Grill. Jim Level and us, we're very close friends. They normally do it on Wednesday nights with DJ Pat. There's also Poor Richard's, which we haven't been there in a while, but Poor Richard's is a good place to be on the weekends. There's also Slingshots Bar and Grill up in Moscow. There's the New Penny in Scranton. There's just so many places when they come up. You know, once we come through all this, that's one of my goals is to list all the karaoke spots on the site where people can find karaoke. Always have something to do, because that's what makes us different is a lot of these other sites, which I give kudos to Discover NEPA. I give kudos to Access NEPA. You know, they like to feature what's locally. I like to show people what's going on outside of the area too, because not everybody likes to stay in the valley. People like to get in the car, go drive, and find something to do. So we like to be able to bring it all together and, you know, tell people, you know, if you're looking for something to do in NEPA and it's not here, check out these sites, you know, and let them show you what's going on. So it's one big bubble all together, one big happy family that just wants people to have something to do, because every time I hear the word, oh, there's nothing to do. Yes, there is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've actually sang karaoke down at Port Richards.
Have you really?
Yeah. I like that place because for anybody that's unaware, it's located in Southside Bowling. Mm-hmm. And so you got the karaoke. They have drinks and food. Mm-hmm. They have bowling on the weekends. It's Cosmic Bowling.
Now they have laser tag down there too.
Yeah, laser tag, and then the full arcade. They've redone it now, and it's like super modern. Mm-hmm. It's cool. Yeah, I'm a fan of the bowling alley for sure. Mm-hmm. I noticed it was my first time doing karaoke. I sang a Bob Marley song, "War."
Ooh.
Yeah, and like I was trying to watch the screen. And that, I think, was the biggest mistake I could have made, because like I know it in my soul, like, you know, that watching the screen threw me off. And as soon as I realized that, and I just tapped out and I just started doing my thing, like, you know, it was much easier.
That happens to me all the time when I use the Smool app and I go live, because I have one of these karaoke microphones, which this thing is great. It Bluetooths right to your phone. So the other day I was doing one and I knew the song inside out. And I started following the screen. I'm like, no, don't do that. And I'm screaming at the mic as I was doing it.
Well, okay, so this show, Connecting the Creators, is not necessarily just intended for business owners, but I mean, business owners generally are influencers of the community, mm-hmm. and are creators, and but being a business owner now, maybe you have some words of advice for anybody that may be listening that has an idea, they want to, even just a little bit, begin sharing their unique talents with the world, but maybe they're discouraged, or they don't, maybe they're getting stuck in their head and overthinking. Mm-hmm. What do you have to say? You know, you could share with us tips to make it easier, or share with us what are your findings? What do you really enjoy now that you've made it? Like what, whatever you want to say.
The best advice that I can ever give anybody is if you're working for a W-2 now and you're not happy and you don't like the repetition that's going on and you want to change your life, make that leap of faith and don't be afraid. Once you make that leap of faith, you're going to thank yourself that it was the best decision that you've ever made. And I thank myself to this day, because once you get out there in the hardworking world and you become an entrepreneur like yourself and me, you're going to learn what it's like to hustle. Because when you're growing up, you learn the foundations, you learn the basics from your mom and dad of what it's like to be an entrepreneur. If they were those kind of people when you were growing up. And no matter what, you're never going to give up. I always tell everyone effort never dies, because as long as you continue down that path and you continue to work harder and harder by reaching out to your friends to help promote you or constantly pushing and going, you know that in the end, there's going to be an ultimate goal. For me, opening up this was my ultimate goal. And of course, now there's going to be times like this where it's going to be slow and it's going to be disheartening and you don't know what to do. You want to do what's best for you and always keep the faith, and don't let situations like this bring you down, because there's always going to be good days. There's always going to be bad days, but in the end, it will always be great.
I've noticed that. I noticed I used to get down on myself and had worry that things weren't going to work out. But, 33 years later, I mean, the bullshit I've been through, I'm still eating good and I'm still breathing good air.
Yep. And I got to tell you, when you first started out doing your juicing, I watched you go from like a little baby, and look at you now. You had a nice business there down at the Steamtown Mall, and look at you, what you're doing now. Now you're connecting people like me to people in your network so that your network can tell other people what these connectors do. Like with Jordan, I found out about Jordan through Facebook. I had no idea who Jordan was. And I am a prime fan of him, as well as Meal Prep Grind. And it's changed my level of thinking so much that my lunch anymore comes from either one of them. If there's more people out there that do it, hey, that's great. But the food is made healthy. It's locally grown. It's not something that you're going to find from, and I don't mean to badmouth, corporate people like HelloFresh or Blue Ribbon or any of that, But when you're putting money in their pocket, someday they're going to turn around and they're going to reciprocate the favor. And they're going to say, hey, I know a title and tag girl, or, I know somebody who, can connect local businesses and events together. And I know there's more than one person that does it, but everybody works together. It comes out beautifully in the end. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, this, like I said, I didn't grow up here, and it's a small enough city where that, or not just city, but we'll say the valley is small enough that if you did grow up here, there's a very good chance that you already have an existing network.
Mm-hmm.
For somebody like me, that wasn't the case. I had to start from the ground up and start meeting people and building the network. And
mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that this show serves kind of dual purpose, where it could help somebody like yourself with your own personal endeavors, but now maybe somebody's seeing this where you have the skills that can help somebody else.
That's right.
So just hoping that only goodness can come from this, and it's fun to chat. Like now we're getting to know each other a little better. So next time we talk, we'll be able to be friendly and nothing but goodness. So
exactly.
It's cool. What else? What do you want to say? Is there anything you want to add?
I just, other than, kudos to you for doing this, shout out to my other half, which I'm sure he's probably watching from the shadows back there, Glenn Murphy, CPA. Anybody's got questions about what's going on right now with COVID-19, where to go, what do I have to fill out? You're welcome to call him. He'll always answer the phone, answer any questions. A lot of people are panicking, like, oh, am I going to get my money? And we've never gone through this before. It's like history repeating itself 100 years later. But when you need somebody, just ask. Even if it's me, just ask. I'll get the answers. I don't care. In the end, I just want to see, everybody out there do well. I don't want to see anybody become a statistic. Yeah, it's scary and you have to be careful, but this should have always been the case since day one, not just now because there's a new version of the virus that's out there, So, but shout out to him. Shout out to all of his kids who are working for him. And shout out to any business owner who's getting through this. We'll all get through it together. As we say here at One Way to Fun, we're all in this together. And if there's anything that I can do, to promote during this time, I'm here for anybody.
Cool. And, when you were talking there, you reminded me of, you were talking about asking questions.
Yeah.
So I've started a few businesses now. Kimchi Dude being the most popular of them.
Yeah.
But through the whole process, I learned one of the most important things was to ask. Mm-hmm. Because I used to have this fear of asking for help or asking for opportunity. And I might get 9 no's out of 10 questions, but eventually I get 1 yes. And that's more than no yeses. And, you can't do that without asking. And so the importance of just asking a question
that's right.
can dramatically change the course of your life.
Mm-hmm. So. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You seeing the people chatting?
Yeah, I see the people chat. I see Lindsay. Lindsay's Glenn's #1 fan.
I know very little about Lindsay also. If she's still watching, I wouldn't mind chatting with Lindsay. I mean, I know very little about her.
Lindsay would be a good interview.
Yeah?
Lindsay would be a good interview. And Maria Teresi's soon-to-be husband, Caleb Corbett, he's manager down at Cigar Pub in Drums. He would be another good interview. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those are my recommendations.
Well, if you don't mind, why don't you send some people messages that you think, and tell them that I just want to chat, and we can make that happen.
Definitely.
All right. Well, I don't think there's much else to say. We've chatted a little bit here, and it's a pleasure getting to know more about you. And I hope people watching here have learned a few things. And
awesome.
If there's anything you think of, feel free to leave it in the comments so people can find you and your resources.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you joined me.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem, and we'll catch up soon.
You got it, my friend. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.